Okay, what you say, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Now, before we get into this, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I'll left the link to that in the live chat and in the description as well. So I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't be missing out on that. But like I said, we've got another live stream, so I can talk you through what's happening in the charts, see what pairs I'm trading, and if there's any opportunities coming up. So first, we're going to start with AUD USD, and you see that this pair had a big move to the downside this morning. Strong 10 a.m. close there, breaking through that 4H trend line that we had going through the market. So we're saying price was kind of stuck between these two trend lines here. As you can see, we've got a bearish trend line going through the market there, keeping the market in the bearish trend. Then we had this uptrend in the market here, and then we're saying either price is going to break out to the upside or to the downside. And if you see price break out to the upside, you can be seeing price going to take up the highs and keep that overall trend to the upside going. But as you can see, we broke to the downside and price had a very strong close at 10 a.m. So the momentum is definitely to the downside. We'll probably be due some retrace after. You can see in the hourly there, very strong push to the downside. Probably do a little bit of retrace. We did break through this level here in the market. As you can see, previous support for us there. Will be term resistance now, so you could probably see price pull back up, and you can look to enter if you get some more bearish price action if you do pull back to this area. But again, that's if you want to look to enter the market, and again you'll be targeting the lows down here, and if we go and break that, we could be going much further. From a daily point of view, it looks like we're just starting a new bearish trend in the market here, so you could be seeing price make a way all the way to the 200 moving average. We do have support along here. I can see previous support for us. We had the move to the upside from that area, so you could be seeing price targeting that area in the market again, and just below we've got the 200 moving average there as well, so you could see price getting attracted to this area in the market from a daily point of view. Of course, we still need to take out the lows here. I can see previous support here, push the upside. Again, previous resistance, push the downside. So if we do take out that level, that's where we're expected price to go from a daily point of view. But again, from a 4H, probably looking for those pullbacks to get into the market, and probably targeting the lows down there. But currently right now, price is very bearish, and probably won't want me to be entering the market with that, because there's really no resistance right by it, because you just see price is broken on for a lot of resistance levels there, or support levels actually. So when price go find some resistance for us, and then look for some entries. But right now, probably expecting that to continue to the downside. Next up, we got Euro USD. Now Euro USD, again, similar thing to AUD USD. Big push to the downside that we had again overnight and this morning. You can see 10 a.m. close very bearish there. We did break out of our channel that we had going through the market. We're talking about this ascending channel that we had going through the market, and we're saying if price breaks to the upside, we can see price targeted the highs up there. But you can see that we broke to the downside ultimately. You can see we broke to the downside yesterday, bit of correctedness, and then we broke properly to the downside today, and you can see the momentum just continuing to that to the downside there, and probably targeting the lows down here for Euro USD. As you can see, previous support had the push to the upside, so that's where I would be expecting Euro USD to head to. Obviously, we do have some support areas right where price is currently. We've got some support there. That's where we had the push to the upside from there, and again, see a few wicks around there. So again, it's coming into some support area, but nonetheless, from a 4H point of view, probably expecting those areas to go and break, and price to just keep on having that bearish trend. And if you go and break the level down here from a daily point of view, we're probably targeting again previous resistance, now turn support for us in the market. As you can see, resistance for us there, push to the downside, resistance for us there again. So again, that's where we'll be targeting from a daily point of view. And just below it, 70 USD, we've got the 200 moving average running through the market there. So if the market wants to break through that level, we can be targeting the 200 moving average. And of course, that is still a long way away. If I measure the pips, you can see that's over 400 pips. So there's a lot of movement that we're expecting for USD on the daily time frame there. but of course we still need to break through this level in the market here. As you can see, previous support is where we had the initial push to the upside from. So again, that's our initial target, and once we break through there, we'll be looking at the market coming down to these areas here, but we're still a long way away from getting to any of those areas. Yeah, so that's what we'll be looking for Euro USD. And yes, I'm still in my USD CAD and NZD CAD. I'll get onto them right now. So USD CAD, going to 4H. Yeah, I'm still on my USD CAD. We currently had a push to the upside again. You can see USD was quite bullish at 10 a.m. with that 4H candle there, push to the upside. You can see across all the USD pairs, a big push to the upside. So yeah, I'm still holding on to that. I got in on that candle there. Make a bit more clear. I've gone at this candle there. So I got in that candle there, and I've been holding it since. It's just been ranging a lot, and you can see finally broke out to the upside. So yeah, that's currently my USD CAD trade. We've got this trend line going through the market here. Initially a test there, a second test there. So it could be seeing a third test of that market, or that trend line. Sorry. My initial target was the 200 moving average, just above it, as you can see there. So not too far from my initial target. But again, you can see the momentum is very bullish. I'm probably expecting price to go and break that area and probably continue to the upside. And if we do go break that trend line, then we could probably see an even bigger move to the upside, where we could be targeting highs such as that or even that. Yeah, this trade has quite a lot of potential to the upside, but of course we've got many levels that price will be faced where we have potential reversals that I have to be wary about. So you can see initially here we've got resistance, support. So that could be a nice area where price could potentially turn around. And again, we've got the trend line there. So we'll be holding onto this trade so far, and probably will be holding onto it throughout the week unless we get price reverse back down. But you can see we're very bullish now. I'm probably expecting that to continue. And yeah, I'm also in my NZD CAD trade, and that had the opposite effect on my USD CAD. As you can see, big bearish candle to the downside there. I was in a little bit of profit, and then price came and reversed back down, and now back at some drawdown. As you can see, we have this trend line there in the market, which I was anticipating price going and breaking and see a longer move to the upside for NZD CAD. But as you can see, ultimately we've got a wick to the upside, then price reversed back down, and we're back at that same daily trend line. If you look on the daily chart, you can see this is the trend line that I'm looking at. We're back testing that same area. So price goes and breaks that now, then I'll be looking to exit my NZD CAD trade. But as you can see, we're right back into that same trend line, so we'll be holding it and seeing if it can play out, and probably get another move back to that same trend line again, then go and break it and have a longer move to the upside. So that's what I'll be looking for NZD CAD. But yeah, still in this trade, and just going to see how it pans out. But then again, if you break through that trend line and go further, I'll be exiting the trade and hit my stop loss there for NZD CAD. So yeah, I'm also in Euro GBP. I exited my original trade, and I entered a new one for Euro GBP to the upside. Again, so my initial entry was on this candle here. As you can see, very strong bullish candle going to the upside. We had a little bit of a trend line going through the market for Euro GBP. I draw it in. As you can see, multiple tests of this trend line here in the market. So I was looking to go long from this trend line. Initially went long from that candle there, but then we did break back down. That very strong bearish candle, as you can see yesterday. That closed at 2 p.m. I believe. Very strong bearish candle, just came all the way back down to the same area of support. So I had the next candle, I think, closed at 6 p.m, which is where I entered again with this wick to the downside and closed as a doji. So I entered on that candle. I was looking for a move to the upside for Euro GBP. So yeah, I closed my first position, opened the second position, and I'll still be targeting the highs up here for Euro GBP, and probably to test the upper trend line that we've got going through the market, which is all the way up here on the 4H. So yeah, it's still going to remain in my Euro GBP trade. going through the market. So this trend line there. So I'll be targeting the second trend line there, and probably still expecting a break of that same trend line and going to target the highs throughout the market. So we've got one going through the market there, got another one just above it there, and got another one there. So I'll be looking to see how the market reacts with those levels. Of course, if you do get above there, but ultimately still targeting the upper trend line that I've got going through the market there first, and then we'll see if we can go further if we get the right price action for UGP. And I also stuck on a NZD USD short trade as well yesterday at 6 p.m. I believe. So yeah, I took this trade on the bearish candle that we had there for the upside. As you can see, this was the resistance. Price was respecting quite well, and you can see we just had a resistance there. Price broke slightly above it, so we're still treating this area as resistance, not really any breakouts, just because you can see the low momentum there moving sideways. Normally in a breakout you want to see strong candles closing above that resistance, also closing below the support quite strongly and moving in that direction. But as you can see, we're kind of just moving sideways, so I was treating this as the area of resistance now, and you can see we had that wick to the upside and that nice engulfing candle as price came back down. So I went short there yesterday at 6 p.m. and then yeah, you can see that this morning again USD being bullish, took the trade in the direction to the downside. So yeah, seeing some nice profit for NZD USD there. We do have a little bit of this trend line going through. It's not really a major trend line, as you can see. I only got 2 points connecting this trend line here in the market. You can see an issue there and a second one there. So not really a strong trend line, but that's really where I'm targeting for this trade. And then if you can break through there, I'll be targeting the lows of here. As you can see, it pushed the upside from the support area, and then again all the way down there, which would be my final target for NZD USD short trade. But yeah, currently still bearish, probably do some retrace. You can see very strong bearish candle to the downside, so yeah, probably do some retrace, but as long as we don't reverse completely back up and start to take out this level here in the market. If I zoom in, you can see previous support for us there, which kept us in the ranging market, then we broke down to the downside. So if price closes back above this level here, I'll probably looking to exit my trade completely. But yeah, as long as we stay below that level there, I'll just sit in the trade and sit through the retrace and probably target the trend line. Then again, the levels down respectively if we go and break for that area. But yeah, that's what I'm planning for that trade. So yeah, those are all my positions. But yeah, we'll keep going through the market to see how that plays out. And hello to the Lost Boys vlogs. I hope you enjoy the live stream. I'll do this every week. So yeah, if you can make it, try and make it, and I'll try and help you out as well. And we learn from each other trading Forex. So yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, gonna go through the market now and just see what other charts are saying, and if we've got any other opportunities as well. So ADJPY again, similar to ADUSD, very strong move to the downside. You can see JPY is being strong as well, and USD is being strong as well. They move similarly as well. So you can see why that's happening at the same time. Very strong move to the downside again. Broke through our bullish trend that we're having through the market. Well, short-term bullish trend in the 4H. Overall, you can see overall to the downside. We broke through that level. We did have this level acting as support as well. The bearish trend that I was talking about going through the market. As you can see, this was resistance for us all the way down here, then acting as support. Then I was saying it either can have price respect those two trend lines where they're intersecting and see price continue to the upside, or we can see a breakout nicely and price continue to the downside for AJPY. Again, you can see we broke to the downside quite well. So again, that's where we're expecting price to go now. And you see what ultimately very, very bearish, and the momentum is definitely to the downside. So again, assuming that will continue. We got very strong support area in the market here that price just broke through. As you can see, support. I was actually selling ADJPY from this candle here, pushed the downside, and that's where we got rejected and had a move to the upside. So again, you can see we actually got broken through that level now. So now this tells me that ADJPY could be on its way down, breaking through that key level on the 4H. and again looking very bearish. So again, we're going to target the lows down here for that pair, and if we go and break that, we can go much further from a daily point of view. If we go in the daily chart, again we're looking at levels around here. As you can see, previous support for us on the chart, support all along here, had to push to the upside, and again just below we've got the 200 moving average as well. So again, it's a great place in the market where we could be targeting from a daily point of view, and if we reach that, that could be a nice move for AUDJPY. Quite a few pips if I just go and measure that from that level there. It's up there. So again, over 100 pips. So it is a move to want to be involved in, but again, looking very bearish. You want to be seeing price pull back. If we do pull back to this area of the market here, support, time resistance, that'll be again a nice area to look to short the market. But yeah, I don't really see price pulling back that much, although anything can happen. But yeah, currently when we want to get into any AUDJPY trades, just yet, if we get some nice price action pulling back, then you can look for short. But yeah, definitely won't be looking for any longs for AUDJPY. Next, take a look at CHF-JPY. Again, this one we're still expecting a move to the downside, not as strong as the other JPY ones. JPY pairs. As you can see, we did break through our trend line going to the upside. We've got a nice bullish trend here in the market. Short term, broke to the downside. It looks like it's still correcting itself before continuing to the downside. It's having a tougher time than other pairs. We do have the 200 moving average just above it acting as resistance, and of course the trend lines can act as resistance as well, but ultimately still expecting CHF-JPY to break to the downside. And again, we could be targeting different areas in the market. We've got a nice area along here, see support there, resistance there, just below it again down here, support for us there. Again, you can see support, resistance as well, then ultimately down there as well, where you can see some support there as well. So that could be a nice area to target to. Again, almost 200 pips move for CHF-JPY if that was to come true. So again, could be looking for some entries there for CHF-JPY. Hasn't really moved much so compared to the other JPY pairs. So it could be a nice pair to look to enter, and could be looking to take advantage of a nice short trade. Again, I think CHF is being a little bit bullish as well, so that's why we're not really seeing the movements that we are from the other JPY pairs to the downside, but ultimately still expecting a nice breakdown to the downside for CHF-JPY. Next, take a look at Euro-JPY. Again, you can see another JPY pair pushing to the downside. So again, we're probably expecting this to continue. We did break through the upward trend line that we're having through the market a while ago now, and you can see we're just continuing to the downside ultimately from there. We're probably still expecting that to continue to the downside. The momentum's still very much bearish, and probably expecting that to continue. We got some support there, some resistance there, so that could be the first target, respecting Euro JPY to probably maybe have a rejection and maybe move to the upside from. And then again, you can look at some pullbacks when that happens. But if you go and break that, then we'll be looking at the lows down here for Euro JPY. And again, still a few pips in that move, so a nice place to target. And if you go and break that low, we'll be targeting the 200 moving average, just going through the market like so. So that'd be a nice area from a daily perspective for Euro JPY. But yeah, momentum looks like a shift to the downside on the 4H and the daily chart. So yeah, expecting that to continue and playing out to the downside. So again, just be looking for those pullbacks, but currently we don't have any, and price is looking very bearish so far. GBP AUD, now this one is pushing to the upside, so you can see AUD is weak as well. AUD is weak. GBP AUD is moving to the upside there. We had this trend line going through the market here, which you did see a break out of, but you can see that we had that next bullish candle closing back above. So again, we're treating that as a false breakout essentially, and you can see prices breaking to the upside. On the daily chart, you can see prices actually breaking through some resistance. Of course, the day isn't over yet, so you can still see price pull back and give us a big wick to the upside. But currently, we are breaking through some strong resistance in the market. As you can see, resistance for us there, resistance again, and you can see that yesterday we sort of closed just a little bit above it, so it's an indication that tomorrow's candle was going to go and break it. Again, you can see we are breaking through that resistance, so that uptrend is still, looks like it's still playing out. You do have resistance just above it, as you can see, resistance there, and resistance there again. So that could be a place where GPAUD is targeting and looking to head to. And again, we can look at some shorts when we get to that area, and probably targeting the trend line just down here as well. So again, looking very, very bullish. We'll be looking to short that with the price action we're getting there. But we could be seeing some nice short trades coming for GPAD soon. But yeah, not yet. Still looking quite bullish. But when we start to get some nice resistance coming back into the market and some good bearish price action, could we look for some shorts on GPAUD. GPJPY, again, this one's looking bearish again. You can see we had this uptrend in the market a little bit, but very corrective, not really much bullish momentum in there. As you can see, very strong move to the downside. So we're probably just treating this as a pullback essentially, and see price continue to the downside. Yesterday we saw price turn bullish again on GPJPY. As you can see, big push to the upside of that big bullish candle, but I was still favouring price, still breaking down and still continuing to the downside as long as we stay below this trend line here. As you can see, the uptrend gave us many tests of this trend line. So you can see there's a very key trend line in the 4H and respected quite nicely. And again, price was looking very bullish, probably trying to get people on the wrong side of the market. But as long as we stay below that trend line, I was still expecting to see price sell off. We came back to this area of the market here. As you can see, resistance all along here, false breakout, we could be treating that as, and then price retesting that same area as resistance again, and also retesting that trend line. So again, we're treating that push to the upside we had yesterday as a pullback now, and probably expecting price to continue down to the downside now and give us that push to the downside we're expecting. We do have some support just below price where we are now. As you can see, that's initially where we had to push the upside from. So again, that area is going to act as support. But ultimately, if you see price going break through that, we've been targeting the lows of GPJPY. We've got some nice areas down here, further down there, and again, we can go all the way to the bottom if JPY wants to give us that much of a move. But yeah, for GPJPY, expecting the bearishness to continue and for the momentum to start becoming a little bit more bearish and see a nice move to the downside. Again, you could probably look to short the market with the 4H candle we have now. Again, you can look take it on this current candle, and your stop loss just be above either the recent high that we just have going through there with this resistance, or above the last swing high of GPJPY. And again, you'd be protected with the resistance on the trend line as well, and you could look to target the bottom down there. Again, that could be a decent trade if that plays out. Again, just be wary because you've got a few levels going through the chart there, but ultimately still expecting GPJPY to give us a nice swing to the downside. Next, take a look at NZD-JPY. So again, another push to the downside. This was the resistance that price was respecting quite a while now, and ultimately probably still expecting price to go and break through that. Of course, we did have a little bit of uptrend in the market, so there was a chance price was going to break to the upside, and continue going higher. As you can see, the resistance was there. Price was stuck between that trend line and resistance. If price was to break through the resistance, we'll be targeting the highs up here, but you can see we broke to the downside this morning with the 10 a.m. close, and we could be seeing a nice move to the downside for NZD-JPY now. Again, we'll be targeting the lows down here where we've got that previous line there, but we are actually at some support. As you can see, I'll draw the level in here. See support there, support there, support there again. So it's going to act as support where we are currently. So we won't want to be looking for trades into support, or short trades anyway. Won't be looking for any longs for NZD-JPY. Still expect this to continue to the downside. Again, we could be due some retrace for this one on the lower time frames like the hourly. Then could be look to short the market there, take advantage of a nice move to the downside. But you need to be aware that we are still in a ranging pattern on this one on the daily chart. If I zoom in, you can see we've got our highs of the market up here, and we've got the lows of the market down here. And you can see we've had numerous tests of each level. 3 tests of the top level, 3 tests of the bottom level. So again, we're going to be breaking out of this ranging pattern soon. Obviously, to which direction we don't know, but if we do break to the downside, we could be seeing a nice little setup there, and we're targeting the highs of the ranging pattern that we had down here previously. As you can see, resistance all along here. So again, that's going to act as support for us. So if we break to the downside out of this ranging pattern, that's where we'll be expecting price to go for NZD/JPY, and we could be seeing a nice little move there for us. That's probably the side that I'm expecting price to break out to for NZD/JPY. But however, we can still break out to the upside, and if we do, we can be targeting some recent highs that price made over here. Well, actually not recent at all, back in January. As you can see, resistance there, so you could be seeing a nice move to go and test the highs up there. But as of yet, we're looking very bearish and probably expecting that to continue and go and break the lows that we have there. But from a 4H point of view, again looking bearish, probably due some retrace, but ultimately still expecting that to continue to the downside and go and head to the levels that we have down there. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for NZD/JPY. So yeah, currently still in my trades, and we'll probably looking to hold on to them. Still in my NZD/USD, my NZD/CAD, USD/CAD, and Euro/GBP. So yeah, we'll be commenting on these trades to see how they get along. NZD/CAD, that one could be looking to fail if it breaks through that trend line. As you can see, we're in some decent profit. Push to the upside, we're sort of just stuck at that resistance as well, so we didn't really go too far. My initial target was the 200 moving average just above it. As you can see there, we're just moving we're just moving sideways there, stuck at that resistance. Then we also had the trend line going through the market as well, which I was expecting price to go and break because we're coming from a stronger trend line in the market. As you can see, I'm buying off this daily trend line. I'll just move these other ones. So yeah, you can see that I'm buying off this daily trend line here. Of course, that's going to be a stronger trend line than the 4H. So anticipating price breaking to the outside for NZD/CAD. But ultimately, you can see that we had a push to the downside. Again, we still haven't broken through the daily trend line, so potentially we could still see another move back to the upside. But again, current price action is looking very bearish, and momentum has definitely shifted from the bulls to the bears. So we could be seeing a break of this trend line, and if we do, I'll probably looking to exit my position in NZD/CAD, and yeah, close that position. But if we do reverse and start to range a little bit more between these two trend lines and break to the upside, that could be a nice move to the upside for NZD/CAD. But as of yet, looking bearish, and I'm still going to hold into that trade, but this one could end up losing. But yeah, other pairs that I'm in, USD/CAD, that one's doing all right. We had a push to the upside, like I said earlier, and yeah, we'll be holding onto that trade throughout the live stream, and probably still initial first target that 200 moving average. So yeah, I might be taking some profit if we hit there and we get rejected by it. And of course, we've got the trend line not too far away, and the resistance up above here not too far away as well. But yeah, still going to be holding on to that one. And yeah, we'll be looking at different markets throughout the live stream here. We'll be talking about my trades as well and seeing how they play out, and any comments I have on them. And if anyone wants me to look at their trades that they're taking, or they want me to analyze any charts, make sure you just drop it down in the live chat, and I'll make sure I help you out and give my opinions. But yeah, we'll be just watching how the markets develop and commenting and just giving my opinions throughout the live stream. Okay, going to take a quick look at Euro USD, see what's happening in that chart. Okay, so Euro USD again looking very bearish. We had a nice push to the downside today at 10 a.m. Again, we had a nice channel going through the market. As you can see, drawing in the lines now. So yeah, we had a channel going through the market here, and ultimately we were expecting price to either break out to the upside, where we could be seeing price going target highs. But if we see a nice break to the downside, we could be seeing a good move to the downside for Euro GBP. Again, we got targets all the way down here for the daily perspective. We got resistance there. Again, we've got resistance there. So again, from a downside point of view, it's looking like there's a lot of potential for Euro USD to move to the downside. We've got a couple of targets there, and also we've got the 200 moving average there that price could be attracted to. So yeah, we're expecting a nice move for us to the downside from a daily point of view. Again, a lot of pips there, but again, it's going to be a lot of pullbacks and moving sideways before it eventually gets there. But from a daily point of view, we've got a lot of potential. 4H again looking very bearish. Again, nice 10 a.m. close there, closing to the downside. Currently, we are at some support areas in the market for USD. As you can see, initially some support there, push the upside. Again, some support there, push the upside. So we could be seeing a little bit of move to the upside on the lower time frames, like the hourly, maybe the half hour as well. But ultimately, from a 4H point of view, we're looking very bearish and expecting that to continue to the downside. Probably do some retrace on the lower time frames, but that should still play out in the favour to the bears, and still expecting that to continue, and probably going to have some targets for USD at the lows down here. Again, there's still a few pips to the downside. Well, actually more than a few. We actually got about, again, almost 100 pips to the downside. So still a lot of juice left on the 4H for a move to the downside for USD. A lot of room to work with. Yeah, again, we could see some retrace on the lower time frames, but from 4H point of view, looking very bearish. You can see we had a nice trend line going through the market here. We had a retest of that trend line there. Again, providing some resistance, and again, nice push to the downside this morning at 10 a.m. So yeah, looking good for USD. It's probably expecting that to continue, ultimately go and reach the lows, and if we go and break that, we can see USD go a lot further. But yeah, still expecting USD to push to the downside. Obviously, unless this was a false breakout and we see another candle just pushing all the way back to the upside, closing back above this trend line here. If you do close back above that trend line, then we can treat this as a false breakout and see price coming back in that channel, and then maybe breaking up to the upside. But as long as we stay below that trend line for me, and stay below the recent resistance that we just created for ourselves there, I'm still expecting USD to continue its bearishness and continue to the downside and go and target the lows down there. So yeah, still expecting move to the downside for USD, and yeah, I hope that helped. Okay, so I'm going to quickly recap what's going on in the current markets and take a look at my trades again and see if we've got any opportunities coming up tomorrow and what we've got going on certain pairs. So I'm going to start with AUD/USD. You can see that with this one, again, still looking bearish again, with the current candle a little bit bullish, but you do expect to see some retrace in the low time frames, like the hourly or the 30 minutes. The intraday time frames, you can see the hourly had a push to the upside, 50 minutes we had a push to the upside. So you do expect some retrace, because you can see we're very bearish, quite a big bearish candle there, but ultimately still expecting that momentum to continue for AUD/USD and probably continue to the downside. And again, probably expecting a move to go and reach this area in the market here, and if we go and break it, we could be seeing further targets met on the daily time frame. We do have the 200-moving averages go through the market around here, so you could be seeing a move to that area. And we also do have a support level just above the 200-moving average around here. So again, if we go break that area in the market, that's probably the place we're going to target from a daily perspective for AUD/USD. But yeah, ultimately expecting that bearishness to continue and to keep on moving towards the downside. USD CAD, again, this one's still looking bullish. Currently still trading this one as well, still holding that position. You can see nice move to the upside, expecting a test of that trend line soon, and to see if you can get rejected or if price will go and break it. But again, my initial target is almost reached at the 200-moving average about there. So again, yeah, still looking bullish and probably still expecting that to continue, and we could probably see this trade really go into play if we break the trend line and that our resistance level there. If we break that level, this will all be support. We'll probably see a nice move from a daily perspective for USD CAD. But yeah, ultimately still looking bullish and still looking to hold onto that position. USD, now this one I was saying that we're still expecting a move to the downside for this one. Again, we can expect a little bit of retrace in the low time frames, the hourly, the 30 minutes. As you can see, that's what we've been having. Price is looking bearish again, but ultimately still expecting this to continue to the downside. And we got our targets down there for EUR/USD, the lows down here, which is our initial target for the 4H, and daily we could be targeting the 200-moving average, or this area in the market just here, with previous resistance now turned support for us. So yeah, we've got some nice targets from a daily perspective and 4H for EUR/USD, and ultimately still expecting a move to the downside for this one. GBP/USD, again, this one's looking bearish. Again, we had a nice breakout of our channel that we've been trading above. GBP/USD, as you can see, we broke back into it, so there were hints that price could be looking to continue to the upside, but you can see that this morning we broke back below, so a bit of a false breakout, and we're back looking bearish again for GBP/USD. So yeah, ultimately expecting that to continue to the downside and see if we can achieve new lows. Again, we got a nice area in the market around here, previous support again, so that's probably our initial target for GBP/USD to get to this area. As you can see, this is the initial place that we had that big bullish candle from, but once you go and break that, we've got other areas of target. We've got a low down there, we've got some resistance along here, so support there as well. Obviously we've got the low down there, the last swing low. So again, GBP/USD's got some downside potential, but yeah, could be seeing a nice move to the downside for this one. But again, do have to be wary. We do have a daily trend line going through the market, so again, that's going to act as support, so you need to watch out of that trend line, because you could see another move to the upside from a daily point of view. So if I go on the daily chart and zoom out, you can see we do have that trend line going through the market like so. Support there, second test there, support, third test again, support. So again, we could be due another test of that trend line, and it could be acting as support and sending us back up, so be careful of price around there. But yeah, ultimately expecting that to continue. USD/JPY, again, this one again is a bit of a tricky. We had the trend line going through the market on the daily chart. As you can see there, we've got the high trend line going through the market there, and we've got the immediate one going through the market as so. And you see numerous tests there. We had a bit of a false breakout that we had earlier, and again, it's looking like that false breakout is going to continue to the downside now. Again, not really a clean move, a few bullish candles down the daily time frame, and you can see we're moving quite correctively, but ultimately expecting USDJPY to continue to the downside. Of course, we do have some support there in the market. As you can see, you've got a couple of wicks around here that initially pushed to the upside where we had the false breakout, and we're back at that same area. So again, it's acting as support for us there. So until we break that, we're probably expecting the rangingness to continue a bit, and for USDJPY to move sideways. But once we break that, it's quite a clear path to go and test the lows down here, where we had this move on the daily chart here and this move on the daily chart here. So that could be a nice place to target for USDJPY, but I currently have some support, so I wouldn't be looking to short that. But if we go to maybe test the trend line again, that could be a nice area to look for the short. But right now we're in the middle of nowhere, so I'm looking to put on any USDJPY trades. AUDJPY again still looking bearish. We broke through our 4H uptrend that we're having. You can see the uptrend, broke through that, and again from then looking bearish. Current candle a little bit bullish, but ultimately still expecting that to just to be retracing the low time frames and for price to continue to the downside. AUD CAD again, this one again looking very bearish. We broke through some strong support levels in the market. As you can see here, if I zoom in, this was a very strong support level in the market for us. As you can see, resistance all along here, multiple wicks of price testing it. Price eventually broke to the upside, again acting as support, nice push to the upside, again acting as support, push to the upside. So you can see we're actually the price go and break it. Obviously the daily candle's not closed yet, we've still got a few hours left, so you can still see price get rejected. But of the price action we get in the 4H, we're looking very bearish and still expect that to continue. And now that we've actually broken through this level, again that's going to act as resistance for us, so it could be seeing another move to go and test it again to confirm that resistance. And again, you can look for some shorts, but for AUD we're looking very bearish now. We cleared that support level, which is the support level we needed to clear, and now we could be targeting the 200 moving average from a daily point of view. But from a 4 hour, probably won't want to be looking for sells, probably wait for a bigger retrace in the market and then look to short it there. But ultimately still expecting AUD to give us that move to the downside. Next we take a look at EURJPY. Again, EURJPY still looking bearish for us. As you can see, nice bearish candle at 10 AM. A little bit of bullishness again happening this current 4H candle, but again we're still treating that as a little bit of retrace on the lower time frames. Yeah, we broke through the 4H uptrend that we had in the market. As you can see, price was making those higher highs and those higher lows, but ultimately we're still expecting a pullback to occur, and as you can see, a nice push to the downside. And on the daily chart, again, we're looking bearish again, broke through that trend line. Initial bearish move to the downside, so it's still treating this as a pullback, and price continuing that bearish trend now. Again, we'll be targeting the lows from a daily perspective of the previous swing low there, and if you go and break the area, we'll be targeting the 200 moving average just below it. But yeah, we're still looking very bearish for EURJPY, and ultimately still expect that to continue. Again, you can look for those pullbacks. We've got some resistance here that price gave us the initial move to the downside at 10 AM today. So again, if price was to come back and retest that area, we can look for some shorts, but as of yet still expect that to continue. EURGBP, now this one I'm currently in a long trade in this one. Like I said, I was in another long trade in this one previously on this bullish candle here, but you see we had that big bearish candle to the downside there, and then we started breaking some lows, so I exited my initial position and I stuck on a second one at 2 PM yesterday, I believe, and from there, yeah, went long on EURGBP. We had a nice trend line going through the market. As you can see, price making those lower lows, but ultimately still expecting a push to the upside for EURGBP. As you can see, kind of moving a little bit of a channel very correctively, so expecting another move to the upside for EURGBP. Initial target for me is that upper trend line, as you can see, acting as resistance for us there. So yeah, we've got the 200 moving average just above it as well. So again, that's going to act as resistance, so it's a nice place to target. But if we break through that, we can be targeting much higher. But ultimately, still just waiting for price to go and reach the trend line up there. So that'll be my initial move for EURGBP. But yeah, we'll be holding onto that position. Next, we take a look at GPAUD. Now, GPAUD, I was saying that we could be looking for some shorts for this one. As you can see, we had a big push to the upside in the daily chart. This was the resistance that price was looking, what price was holding at. You can see resistance all along here, and then we had a breakout of that resistance. Price was giving us this uptrend in the market that price was following, and then you can see we broke out to the upside. So yeah, expecting probably price to go and have a test of next level resistance, which is up here. As you can see, resistance for us there, resistance again, and third time resistance. So expecting probably a fourth test. We can see we're quite not at that level, but again, we don't have to be exactly to the pip to the levels of the resistance. We could be near it because price will just make up its own rules and will follow the resistance levels that it wants to respect. So we have to be ready to anticipate that. But again, we're starting to look bearish again for GPAUD. As you can see, currently the 4H candle's looking quite bearish. We've still got just under 2 hours left for this one. Candle to close, so we could pull back or continue bearish. But yeah, still expecting a move to the downside for GPAUD. Whether we get that 2 p.m, we're not sure. We'll find out if we get some nice price action. But yeah, expecting a move to the downside for GPAUD as long as we get some nice bearish price action. Next, GPJPY, again, similar to GPUSD with this one, we have that channel price respecting quite nicely. Again, uptrend in the market. We're expecting price to break out soon. You can see price broke out, and we had a nice move to the upside, a very strong bullish candle, retesting some previous resistance. As you can see, the trend line there as well the 200 moving average on the 4H. And I was saying, as long as price is below the trend line, still expecting price to continue to the downside. And as you can see, big push to the upside, moving sideways a little bit, correcting itself, then the momentum shifted to the bears again, and we're looking bearish. So yeah, expecting GBPJPY to continue to the downside. However, we are at some support, as you can see, previously support for us here, push to the upside, support for us again. We had that big bullish candle, so again we're right back into that same area, so it's going to act as support. So we need to see price go and break this level. So if price doesn't break this level, we could be seeing another move to the upside, but again, still expecting that move to eventually reverse and go back down. But yeah, we wouldn't want to be shorting into support there. But yeah, ultimately still expecting move to the downside. We just need to see price go and clear this level first though. Next, if we take a look at NZD-JPY, again, still looking bearish for us. Current candle, a little bit of a wick to the upside as price retraced. You can see we're looking bearish again. Still got an hour and a half left for this candle to close. But yeah, you can see the 10 a.m. close very bearish, breaking through that trend line quite strongly as well. So yeah, the momentum is definitely to the bears. Again, I'm probably expecting another retest of this, the bottom of the range pattern that we have on the daily. As you can see, we're up, down, up, down, and then we could be seeing a move back to the upside, but you can see we're looking bearish again, so we're probably going to get a move back to the support of the range pattern, and then we could be looking to see if price is going to break it, or we can be looking for some nice long entries as well if we get another bounce to the upside. But ultimately, that's what we're targeting for NZD-JPY for the lows here. Currently at some support area, as you can see here in the market, support there, so we need to see price go and break that first. But yeah, ultimately still expecting NZD-JPY to make its way to the downside. NZD-USD, currently I am short on this pair. I got in 6 p.m. On the 6 p.m. on the 4H candle, on the 4H time frame. On this candle over here, I'm on the wick to the upside and look to enter there for a short trade, and you can see it's running quite nicely. Still expecting that to continue. My initial target would be this trend line going through the market here. And you can see initially a test there, second test there. So expecting a third test of that trend line, and price goes and breaks that. We targeting the lows down here. You can see support here, expecting to have the support again, or the lows down here again, support there. So expecting it to act as support then. So still got a little bit of way to go for NZD-USD, but yeah, still holding on to that trade and expecting the momentum to continue to the downside. And yeah, NZD-CAD, I'm also still in a short, in a long for this one, sorry. Yeah, still in long for this one. I was expecting a move to the upside for this pair because we came hit a nice daily trend line. I'll zoom out and I get it drawn. You can see that we had a fourth test of a daily trend line going through the market. So as you can see here, initially a test down there, a second there, a third, then we had a fourth recently. So expecting price to give us another push to the upside. But you can see this like might go and break that trend line. You can see we had a little bit of price push to the upside again in the lower time frames and the hourly. But again, it looks like that was just a retrace in the lower time frames, as you can see across other pairs, and price will probably go and break the trend line. So if that happens, I'll be looking to exit my position there. But yeah, you can see we got sent to the downside with that 10 a.m. candle just after testing the trend line that we got going through the market here. Yeah, so we could be seeing a failed trade there. But yeah, if we do break the trend line, we'll be exiting my remaining position on the SD CAD. But yeah, okay, so yeah, that is the end of the live stream. I will be updating you on how my trades went again during tomorrow's live stream, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But yes, end of the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also leave a like. That's all appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure you join me on my Telegram channel. I left a link to that in the live chat and in the description as well, because I'll be posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't want to be missing out on that. But thank you again for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you later.